This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen's out today, so today I'm your KTAR car guy. Bumper to Bumper Radio happens every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers, and I encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text questions to 411-923. Matt Allen is out, so I brought John Riggle from Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair to help you with the car. And then I've got the family from S&S Tire, which is Rob Slagle, Dan Slagle, and Brad Slagle. They're in here to help me tell you about tires. So you know Memorial Day's weekend's coming up, and you know you're going to Rocky Point, or you're going to San Diego, or you're driving somewhere, and you're kind of wincing a little bit because you know you got to buy tires. It's time to buy tires. Well, hey, today, if you got tire questions, give us a call at 602-277-5827. And anything related to your car, whether you got a vibration or you got a window motor that keeps going bad or your car got stuck in the drive-thru last Friday night, whatever's going on with your car, give us a call. Today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, we'll have a car tip of the week, open phones and text, and, of course, tires. Nice to have you Slagle boys in here.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Happens every so often. And these guys, if you guys live anywhere near the West Valley, even if you don't, I live in South Scottsdale. I needed tires for my wife's car, and I wanted Michelins because I love Michelins, and these guys stock a lot of Michelins. So I jumped in the car. I drove down I-10 all the way to Dysart. I hung a left, and I was at S&S Tire. But you guys have three locations. You've got 91st Avenue and Grand. You've got basically Bell and Dysart, right?
Yep.
It's a surprise. I-10 and Dysart just mentioned, and I think I covered all three of them.
You did.
Miss anything?
Nope.
Got them.
You got it.
For sure. So what in the tire business has been the biggest change, would you say, over the last 5 years? Has there been a big change? You know, for a while we had to get everybody used to tire pressure monitoring system. That was a big thing. You know, but now everybody's used to that little yellow light that looks like a horseshoe. You know,
when I help customers, a lot of times what comes up is how old are these tires that I'm buying now? I mean, these new tires, how old are they? You know,
right.
What's the shelf date, born on date, all that kind of stuff. So that's really, I think, what's come about here recently.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how important that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could buy a tire that's, old. If you don't buy it from somebody reputable, that tire could be done before you ever put it on the car. It could be essentially rotten.
Well,
not a good thing.
My first job was at a tire store, and I remember they had all these old tires, and they wanted to get them off the books and out of the warehouse. And so they put them on special, and they tried to push them out to everybody. You know, but I was like 20 years old when I was working there, and I didn't see the problem with that. But being 41, I'm like, man, that was horrible. We sold those tires to people. You know, because they do. I mean, essentially, they can go bad, go on the shelf eventually. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah, the rubber dries out, and basically you have most tires today are steel belted, and so you try to make that steel belt adhere to the rubber tread. Steel and rubber are not natural things that are meant to be together. So that's usually what breaks down first. So we take inventories regularly. When we find the tires are getting old, we'll mark that inventory item that it's an older item, so the customer knows, our sales folks know, everybody knows that it's an older item.
You know, and that's a big deal for you because you have a warehouse that's 20,000 plus square feet, and you guys not only do passenger car tires and light truck tires, but, I got a hand truck at home. It's got a couple tires on them, and they're old and flat, and I just need to get them fixed. So, after the show, I'm going to come see you for some tires for that thing. But you guys do golf cart tires, tractor tire. What all?
There's really nothing we don't handle. The larger loaders, we stay away from that kind of stuff. But we'll handle anything from a dolly, like you just mentioned, all the way up to an RV, semi. There's a box truck right out here, a moving truck. We do tires for it, all that stuff.
As close as you guys are to Sun City, I would imagine there's a bunch of trailers and RVs. That's got to be
There's a lot.
We do a lot of that.
Trailer tires are their own unique breed. Now, why are trailer tires, how are they different than a regular passenger car or light truck tire?
Go ahead, Brad.
What makes them trailer tires?
Well, for one, they are constructed differently to hold that load of the trailer.
Sure.
That's one of the most common failures I've seen on tires is on trailers. You see the guy with his big fancy boat, he's got a 30,000-pound boat, and he wanted the tires on his trailer to match the ones on his pickup. Well, that's not a good idea because your pickup don't weigh 30,000 pounds,
Right.
so there's a big difference. And we see that a lot. I see misapplicated tires, especially on trailers. It's real common when the guys want to do custom wheels and stuff.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the trailer tires usually have a different designation than a light truck or passenger car tire. Light truck would be LT, passenger would be designated with a P. The trailer designation is ST.
Yeah.
And they're usually a little heavier ply. Sidewalls are usually constructed a little bit differently.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So that's one thing that comes to mind. You're talking about this, that, and the other. You're talking about, John, people putting the wrong tires on their vehicle. I don't get the sense that I could go into S&S Tire and walk out with the wrong tire for my vehicle.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think so.
43 years of experience, and a lot of our sales folks have tenure that's, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. And so those mistakes rarely happen in our place.
Yeah, you don't get to stick around that long being wrong.
Yeah, no.
Not in this business.
In the conversations that we've had, you guys picked a tire that's right for the vehicle and for the customer. So
Correct.
there's a bit of interview to them, seeing how they're using the car. Are they towing a trailer? Or it's like when somebody comes in with a 3/4 ton truck and there's not a single scratch in the bed. I don't know that I need to sell them the heavy duty G-rated tires or whatever.
Well, there's a big difference between a sale and a relationship. And so, anybody that walks into our store, we're wanting to create a relationship. So we're not all about the sale, get them in and out and on their way and never see them again. We'd like to create a relationship where they walk out with the right tires for their vehicle and their needs,
Right.
and then they return for the rotations or repairs or any of the car repair that they need.
And you guys don't just do tires. You do suspension repairs and alignments and everything else. So you can get they all kind of go together. I mean, you don't want to put new tires on a car that's got worn out suspension or the alignments off on it. So you really need to get that all handled at the same time.
That's correct.
And that's something you guys can do.
We never believed in that, and so Dan and my father Bob, early on in our not our career, early on in our history, alignment machines, brakes, all those things came into our stores as equipment.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference because if you're not addressing the suspension when you're suspension or alignment when you're getting tires, it's like you're gonna buy a perfectly good set of tires and wreck them in no time. This time of year it's hot out, and I wrote a blog a while back, and it was just about cooking an egg on the sidewalk and what that does to your tires. And you guys see I-10 is starting to get, as it warms up. Right now we're fortunate for a relatively mild May. Super mild May. But, as soon as it hits 110 degrees, there's just tires all up and down the road. And really nothing good happens on the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens there, right?
True.
So, you're driving a car. It's an expense to own a car. If you own a car, you got to take care of your tires. And the other thing you want to enjoy driving your car. I think driving a car is enjoyable. And like when I noticed I put the tires on my wife's car, it's a 2016 Grand Cherokee, and the tires that were on there, it always rode rough because they were 20-inch wheels, and so there's not a lot of sidewall, and you just felt every bump in the road. And getting the tires, got Michelin's on it, picked those up. As soon as I hit I-10, headed back, it was like, this is like night and day to drive this car. And then I gave it to my wife. I didn't really say much about the tires until she commented. She's like, oh, my car feels so much better. And so, the tires I bought were a little bit more money than the, XYZ brand tires, but it made a huge difference. I liked the car a lot better. And I went to their shop at I-10 and Dysart, real impressive shop. You can see the mechanical work happening as well as, the tire thing. So if you guys are in the market anywhere near the West Valley, And even if you're not near the West Valley and you got a specialty need, you may got a little tractor tire or a golf cart tire or a tire for your hand truck. You guys do all that stuff. S&S Tire. Yep. They've been a part of Bumper to Bumper Radio, since the get-go. And we're just happy to have them, because if anyone's on the west side and they got a tire issue or even a mechanical issue, you guys are in good hands to come over and see these guys. So when we come back, we're taking your phone calls at 602-277-5827. We've got Greg in Gilbert. We've got Adam in Queen Creek and Albert in Phoenix, and a couple more open lines, 602-277-5827. You listen to Bumper Radio, and if you got tire questions, today's the day to call. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Honesty and integrity. It's the only option. Hi, Spencer Doucet for H&I Automotive. H is for honesty, and I is for integrity. We built our business on these two principles. We opened our first shop in Mesa in 2009, and with the support from our loyal customers, we've now grown to a second state-of-the-art location in Gilbert. 2 locations, same principles. Quality service at a great value, backed by an industry-leading 60-month, 60,000-mile parts and labor warranty. Check us out at HNIautomotive.com.
There is nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock here for Kurt's Auto Repair. I brought my nephew and general manager, Jeff Rock, to help spread the word.
Thanks, Pops. Yep, the more things change, the more they stay the same at Kurt's. Family owned and operated, our ASE Master Techs and family ethics have earned us a perfect Better Business Bureau record for over 30 years. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue in Bell, or online at mycarhurts.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic, if your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is out today. His son has graduation this morning, so I told him, if he really was a good co-host, he would be here. Skip the graduation.
Oh man,
get his priorities in line.
Wow.
But they don't trust me alone answering all these car questions, so I brought John Riggle. He's a lead technician at Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair, and then we've got the boys from S&S Tire, 3 tire shops in the West Valley that are really, we're proud to have them as part of our Bumper to Bumper network. They do a great job. 3 locations, 91st Avenue and Grand, Bell and Dysart, and I-10 and Dysart. And, it's Rob, I've got Dan, and I've got Brad. And if you're anywhere near that side of the valley, you need tires, because remember, Memorial Day weekend's coming up. And you guys are very much a family-owned deal, and I think sometimes people think, well, I'm going to family-owned deal, and so maybe I pay a little bit more money, but that's not the case, right? You guys are part of a big buying group and all that stuff. And
not the case at all. Yeah, we stay very competitive with pricing and shop our competitors, and we are a part of a buying group that just celebrated 25 years in business, and it does help us to keep our prices low.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
I just wanted to mention this too. Most of our buying power comes from buying directly from the manufacturers. We try not to use distributors, and a lot of the other shops in town, they don't stock as many tires as we do, so they have to go to a distributor and buy it. And when you're going through a distributor, you're paying an extra person there. So I think that helps keep us
stepped on one less time. So if you're in the market for tires, S&S Tire, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. They've been around a long time, but we've got some phone calls to get to. We're going to go with Greg in Gilbert. He's got a 2016 Mazda 3. How can we help you, Greg? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Thank you. My question is regarding the Mazda 3 transmission-wise. The manual says no service needed for this transmission for the life of the car. And I've called the dealerships, and they pretty much say, well, you don't really have to do anything. And I'm a firm believer in preventative maintenance, and I've always changed my transmission fluids regularly on other cars and never had problems. So my first question is, what is the recommended service for a transmission that says it doesn't need service? And then secondly, since we have a transmission person there, what are your thoughts about the CVT, these continuous variable transmissions, which seem to be replacing now the conventional gear-driven transmissions?
Yeah, is your Mazda 3 is an automatic?
It is.
Okay, automatic transmission. We are not a, we get this question. Transmission service is probably the most frequently asked question on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Should I service my transmission? My owner's manual says not to. John, last time you were in with us, we talked about the Toyota that we had in our shop, and we read the manual, and it said at 100,000 miles, inspect the transmission fluid, but don't add any or replace or do anything like that. But down below, there's a little asterisk that said absolutely, at 60,000 miles in severe climates, service your transmission. So if you read further into the manual, it was very contradictory as you read through it. Mm-hmm. And there's a marketing arm to selling cars, and they want to sell them like they're maintenance-free. So they play down a lot of the maintenances. Yeah. But we are consistently rebuilding, repairing transmissions long before their first scheduled maintenance.
Yeah.
The Europeans, like BMW, is real classic for saying, you don't have to service our transmissions. Yeah. And they put a sticker on the bottom, lifetime of the transmission. So when the transmission's junk, you just buy another transmission.
Yeah.
Or you buy
Easy
another
enough,
car.
Huh? Right?
Right. So, no, I absolutely should be serviced. I don't know model 2016 Mazda. I'd have to look into it a little bit more to give you a little bit better answer. But absolutely, I did something on my website here recently where I just explained a lot of that transmission stuff. TriCityTransmission.com. You can find that at Bumper to Bumper Radio. For sure it's there. So thanks for the call, Greg. But, maintenance of the transmission is important. It didn't just go away all of a sudden.
Yeah, and he also asked about CVTs, too.
Oh, yeah,
what
CVTs.
What do you think about CVTs?
They're getting better.
I'll retire on them.
Yeah. They're getting better. The technology isn't quite there. That was really used in lighter vehicles like snowmobiles and that kind of stuff. It's been around a long time.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out well up to this point, but the newest Toyota versions, Toyota was last to market with their CVT, and for a reason, they've done some engineering on them and paid attention, and we think the Toyotas are going to work out. Everybody else has been a little sketchy. A lot of people don't like them. They feel funny.
They feel funny, and we're starting to, we're getting to the point where at first we were just replacing them, but we're getting to the point where we're starting to repair them and service them, and the service recommendations are pretty aggressive for CVTs just because of the way they're designed. So thanks for the call, Greg. We're going to go with Adam in Queen Creek. He's got a 2013 Ford Expedition. How can we help you, Adam? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear the tire subject this morning. My wife's car, we seem to be going through tires like candy, and we chewed up the first set of tires. I had them check the alignment and how everything is supposed to be set up, and they said it all works, so we put new tires on, and it seems like the edges of the tire wear a lot faster than the center of the tire, and air pressure has been monitored with this new set of tires, but it seems to still be happening.
Hey, Adam, on that Expedition, how many miles are on it at this point?
I want to say 112,000.
And are you on your second, third set of tires for it?
Our second set of tires. We bought it about 70,000 miles.
Okay. Any thoughts, guys?
Any towing on this vehicle, or just
no.
Just hauling around kids or
just
so
kids.
forth?
Is it two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive?
It is four-wheel drive. I don't think we've ever used it, though.
Okay. Well, edge wear, he mentioned tire pressure. That's a big deal, but...
Yeah, I believe that it's probably either a quality problem or an air pressure problem, or maybe a combination of the two. One thing you might try is, if the door sticker says 35, for instance, you can put a little extra in there and maybe go to 38. That'll take some pressure off of the edges of the tires.
For me, I tend to burn out the edges on tires, but it's my driving habits. I mean, I flat out know, if I can make a U-turn, I will, without even slowing down. I'll just make a U-turn real quick. And so I tear through my tires. But, it's the tire pressure thing. people they're kind of getting accustomed to checking that tire pressure in the door and setting the tire pressure. How long would you expect if someone bought a good quality pair of tires, they're not towing or doing anything exceptional with it, but on a 2013 Ford Expedition that they're not running out of the track, how many miles should they get out of that, if you were to guess?
Depends on the tire.
Right.
Quality, like my dad Rob had said, plays a big factor. You go with an inexpensive tire, may not have a mileage warranty or mileage expectation, so you may get 30,000. You put a nice set of Michelin's or Yokohama's Hankooks, you may see 60, 70,000 out of them. So and one other thing to touch upon it, one thing that is forgotten a lot about is tire rotations.
Right.
We get a lot of people in that wonder why they've gotten half of the life of what the expected mileage is out of the tires, and it's because they're not rotating them every 5,000 miles.
That's a biggie. That's probably, in addition to having the alignment checked once a year, rotations is probably the biggest thing to making a set of tires last. That proper inflation, but the rotation is critical.
Yeah, we recommend every 5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Pretty much average. And the other thing that you have to remember, Dave, you touched on it earlier, severe climate, severe service. Maricopa County is considered severe, and so with the heat and all that going on, tires that aren't up to snuff when they're made, they don't last here. So I would always recommend, unless it's a car you don't drive a lot, spend the extra and get something good.
Get something good. Well, I know for me, my rule of thumb is I just change the oil every 5,000 miles, and every time I'm in for an oil change, I get the tires rotated. So that's nice that you guys do that. People that go to a tire-only shop where they can't align it, they can't do the suspension, they can't change the engine oil, it really becomes an extra trip to an auto shop. But like at your guys' shop, they go in and get their tires rotated, get their engine oil changed. Every 5,000 miles works out good. So we come back. We've got Albert, Kim, and Don. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
Regularly to Bumper Radio and knew that they only refer the best shops. So when my beloved 2007 Honda Accord was hit recently, I simply went to bumpertobumperradio.com. Hi, this is Sarah from North Phoenix. Even though it was not the closest shop to my home, I chose Campus Auto Body Salon. I did my homework. I liked that they've been in business since 1973 and was impressed with their outstanding customer reviews. Every customer was completely satisfied. I even went to 2 other non-Bumper to Bumper Radio shops first. Then I went to Campus Auto Body Salon. Wow, what a difference. I met with the owner, Leo Petrozella. He was easy to talk to, gave me an initial estimate right on the spot, and handled all of the negotiations with the insurance company. Leo communicated with me throughout the repair process, and I could not have been more pleased with the outcome. The paint match, fit, and finish exceeded my expectations. If you've been in an accident, your first and only call should be to Campus Auto Body Salon.
Trust. They say it takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. It doesn't come easy, and you have to earn it every day to stay in business, right? Hi, Dave Riccio from Tri-City Transmission and co-host of Bumper to Bumper Radio. As Arizona's oldest and most trusted transmission shop, we're determined to keep building on a reputation that we've worked hard to earn by doing the right thing every time for our customers. Yes, honesty is our policy, but we go a step further and back it up with experience and the expertise to be able to give you comfort to know that if you are going to have to spend money on a transmission, that A, you actually need it, and B, that it's done by the most qualified experts at a fair price. I guarantee it. Tri-City Transmission, handcrafted since 1972. Go where friends trust to send their friends. Check us out online at tricitytransmission.com. That's tricitytransmission.com. tricitytransmission.com.
Arizona's news station. KTAR, on air, 92.3 FM, online at KTAR.com, and streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic, now.
Good morning. KTAR News time is 11:30. I'm Nailea Leon. Chandler police said DNA evidence has led to the arrest of a suspect in 2 sexual assaults that happened in 1997. 43-year-old Adan Lopez Perez was being held on federal immigration charges when his DNA was linked to the 1997 crimes. Now he's facing several other charges.
He's being held in the Maricopa County Jail on 2 counts of sex abuse, 5 counts of sexual assault, 3 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of burglary.
Chandler Police Detective Seth Tyler says the DNA match was discovered just 4 days before Lopez Perez was scheduled to be released from federal custody. He's now being held in the Maricopa County Jail. And dentists and hygienists could be the first line of defense against domestic violence. A new study from the U of A College of Medicine suggests they can recognize injuries to teeth and gums resulting from blunt force trauma. The researchers suggest dentists and hygienists can then build the report with their abused patients and get them to the police. Now let's check in with traffic. Here's Mike Daniels in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Natalie. I got a closure in Tempe. Mill Avenue is closed northbound from University Drive to Rio Salado Parkway with the Tempe streetcar track construction to give yourself plenty of time there. And we do have the wrecking and clearing stages 17 southbound at McDowell. This report brought to you by CertaPro Painters. If you want the house that your neighbors will be jealous of, then you need CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. I am Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
We have beautiful sunny skies for today. Right now, it's 78 in Chandler. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. Whether replace or repair, call Howard Air. I'm Nailea Leon on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Live streaming and show podcasts on demand. Get the free KTAR News app in the Apple Store and Google Play. Live streaming audio on the KTAR News app is presented by Sanderson Ford.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Hi, Kevin Rowe from I-17 Collision in Phoenix. If the bad news is you've had an accident, the good news is that with one easy click on bumpertobumperradio.com, you have the best collision, body, and paint shops to help you get back on the road quickly, safely, and with a repair you can trust.
Dave Lindgren here from First Class Auto Body in Scottsdale. Don't be fooled. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shops for your repairs. Not true. Arizona law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you.
And I'm Leo Petrozello from Campus Body Salon in Tempe. Having an accident is stressful enough. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Appearance is important, but it's critical that structural integrity and safety are top priority.
3 convenient locations and 1 united team. With almost 120 years of experience and expertise between us, we are solely focused on taking care of you while working with your insurance company. The Collision Team at bumpertobumperradio.com.
It's back. The 8th annual Bunker to Bunker Memorial Day Play and Stay Golf Tournament benefiting Phoenix Children's Hospital is Saturday, May 25th at the historic Wigwam Resort. The famous 2-person scramble on the award-winning Gold Course is loaded with special prizes, awards, lunch, and even includes a coupon for a second round of golf, all for just $90. Better yet, make it a staycation with room night special starting at just $139 per night. Come make your Memorial Day weekend memorable. Space is limited. Register today at bunkergolf.com.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Matt Allen with Virginia Auto Service is not with me today. He's at his son's graduation. So you get me today. I brought John Riggle with Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair along to help me help you with your car. And then let me explain to you. Well, we got phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. For those of you that have not heard this show before and you're wondering, what the heck is this Bumper to Bumper Radio thing all about? Well, what it is, it's a show designed to put you in the know about your car, to relieve the anxiety people feel when it comes to a car repair. Like, oh my gosh, is this going to be expensive? How much is it going to be Is it going to cost? Am I going to be ripped off? So just by putting you in the know is really going to help the anxiety, because car repair just frankly isn't cheap, you know. But at the same time, we don't want to spend any more money than we have to. So we want you to feel comfortable with that. The other thing that Bumper to Bumper Radio is a network of shops all across this valley. They can be found at bumpertobumperradio.com. Those shops are good shops that Matt and I would carte blanche send you to. Say, go here, they'll take care of you. You get a fair price, and you're not going to be sold anything you don't need. You can find those shops at bumpertobumperradio.com. And I happen to have the family from S&S Tire, a truly family-run tire shop. There's actually 3 of them in the West Valley, 91st Avenue and Grand, Bell Road in Dysart, I-10 in Dysart. And so we got Peoria, Surprise, and Goodyear all covered. And not only that, they do all kinds of specialty tires, whether you got a golf cart or a go-kart or a hand truck. Or I was asking if they could give me some new tires for my pitching machine at home, and they said, yeah, we could probably take care of that. So even pitching machine tires. So we've got Rob, and we've got Dan, and we've got Brad, and we're taking tire questions as well as anything about your car at 602-277-5827. Let's go with Kim in Mesa. She's got a 2016 Toyota Corolla. How can we help you, Kim? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I have, like you said, a 2016 Toyota Corolla. I drove it for about a year. I gave it to my mother because at the time she was in need of a car. I said, start it. If you're not going to use it, make sure you're going to start it every day. Make sure, start it at least once a week and take it for a drive. But she didn't do that at all. And when I went to pick up the car has no power and it shakes. So I'm not exactly sure whether it could just be spark plugs, whether it could be, just the fuel or what.
Hey, Kim, a couple of things. How long was the car with her? How long did she not use it for? And then how many miles are on that Corolla?
20,000 miles, and it was with her for, I'd say, a year and a half to 2 years.
Oh, wow. And over the course of that time, how much did she drive it?
I'd say one day.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think this is going to be a matter of we just got rotten gas in that car.
Yeah. Sure sounds like it.
The spark plugs are perfectly fine. A car like that at 20,000 miles, there's almost going to be nothing wrong with it, but we just have bad fuel in the tank.
Yep. I would almost count on it.
And so I'm not sure how much fuel is actually in the tank, but if it's got a quarter tank and you can blow in some fresh fuel, the secret to the pollution of the old gas is dilution of the old gas.
Yeah.
So, if you got a half a tank of old gas and you put in some fresh stuff and kind of drive it out, I mean, a year and a half is quite a while to go without driving a car.
Yeah. It can varnish and get nasty, but like I said, depends on how much fuel's in it. If the tank's full, you're going to need to take it somewhere and have somebody take the fuel out of it and then go ahead and flush the lines and injectors on it. But if it's got less than a quarter tank in it, I'd go ahead and top it off with some good fresh fuel and then drive the car out. It'll probably come out of it at that rate.
Yeah, I think it's so new. I think it'll, even though it was neglected for a year and a half, it should be good. So
let me ask a question further on. How do you feel about fuel additive? I mean, if it had a quarter tank of gas, you put some new fuel in it, would you add some additive to it?
There's only
as well?
one additive. It's called Techron.
Techron?
Yeah, Techron's the right item. If for cars that sit, you can use Stabil. Is another brand for cars and boats and stuff that is you put it in the fuel before the car sits. Once the car sits and the fuel goes off, you're probably done. But bottles of Techron is the right stuff, and it's approved by most automotive manufacturers.
And that's a point because you guys are so close to Sun City.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys have what I call the Sun City, Queens, is when somebody buys a car from Sun City, it has no miles on it. They're like, it's great, it's only got 30,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
But the car is just sad. It's actually rotted.
It's rotten.
The coolant has gotten rotten, and the fuel and all that stuff. So, for your neighborhood, the Stabil is probably a good buy for sure. Thanks for the call, Kim. 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. We're going to go with Kurt in Mesa. He's got a 2010 Ford F-150. How can we help you, Kurt? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, guys. I've got two questions for you, actually. One's a tire question, and one is about the vehicle. I've always bought my tires from a local shop here, and recently they haven't been honoring the tire warranty on it. They're like, oh, the manufacturers don't ever give us the rebate and so forth, and they've made excuses. I actually called the tire manufacturer, and they say no problem, we'll refund that. So my first question is there some type of disincentive to provide the customer with that warranty that on the shop? Is there something that the reason they wouldn't want to do that?
So I'll answer this question for you because I handle a lot of the warranties for our company. Manufacturers have really cut back on gray area warranties. If it's not white or black, a lot of times we'll go ahead and take care of the customer, and then we'll turn the tire into the manufacturer to get our credit back. We've already credited the customer, and now we're waiting for our money back from the manufacturer. And if it's a gray area warranty, a lot of times they'll leave us out to dry, and that's just a sign of the times. Yeah. And so we're on the hook for a lot of tires that we warranty for the customer that the manufacturer doesn't warranty. So we pretty much we provide that warranty through the manufacturer. A lot of times we'll have to take out the manufacturer's warranty and read it and find out what's covered and what's not covered. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, are you talking about like an extended warranty or just the manufacturer's warranty?
Just the manufacturer's warranty.
Yeah. Okay. For sure, Kurt. And then you said you had a question about the vehicle. Yes.
It's a 2010 Ford F-150. It only makes this noise when I put it in gear, and it sounds almost like it's a tensioner. I replaced a tensioner, but it makes a sound. I actually recorded it for you if I can play it for you. But it makes it periodically. It will go on and go off, and it only happens when it's in gear. So you hear that playing up there?
Yeah, that one's going to be, from the recording, that might be a little hard to kind of pick up. But how many miles are on that F-150?
200,000.
Does the noise change if you turn the air conditioner on and off?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Noises are one of those things where, really, when we hear a noise, we're just going to start changing things. Turn the air conditioner on or turn the air conditioner off.
Yeah.
Or,
see what changes.
You say it changes when I put it into gear. It doesn't necessarily mean it's related. People say, it's related to the transmission.
Right.
No, that just changes the load on the engine.
Yeah, you change the load, you change the RPM, a lot of different things. Yeah, that's something you just have to find somebody that's good at diagnosing noises and listen to it and try to isolate it. I mean, in a situation where you think maybe it's a tensioner or something, we pull the belt off it and run the car without the belt on it. There's some things you can do to narrow that down, but it takes some effort.
If you ever come by Tri-City, we do a lot of noises.
We do a lot of noises.
And it's not uncommon to see John laid across the open hood and Dave driving the car across the parking lot, and John's got his head down in that engine compartment trying to hear for a noise. That's not uncommon. We fixed a weird Jeep that way.
Yeah, we did.
Doing that for sure. But back to the first question as far as the tire manufacturer's warranty, because mileage was a big deal back in the day. Oh, it's an 80,000 mile tire warranty or whatever it is. And then you would take them back. It was kind of like almost the battery warranties back in the day where there was some sort of prorated deal and all that stuff. And really, I've watched across manufacturers, doesn't matter if I buy a car stereo, doesn't matter if I buy an iPhone, the warranties have come down to almost nothing. So what ends up happening is the actual dealers are the people that your warranty comes from. Because at the end of the day, people came to S&S, bought a tire. They didn't go to Michelin, for instance. So you're saying, hey, regardless of what the manufacturer's doing, if it's right, we'll step up and take care of it. And I think that's pretty cool. But that's also something for consumers out there. You want to look for a business where that matters. They look you in the eye, they shake your hand, they're going to take care of you. You're going to walk away, you got a fair deal. They're going to walk away, they know they got a fair deal. Everybody wins in that kind of situation where people can have some open dialogue. But some people are just very matter of fact, nope, out of warranty, not taking care of it. Or in this guy's situation, it's a pain in the neck, right, for you as a tire dealer to take all those adjustments and fill out the paperwork and ship the tires and do all that stuff. So at the end of the day, you're going to take care of it regardless of that whole process.
The tires are a weird deal anyways, because tires are a wear item. They do wear out. And then you have the other common failure, other than just blowing a tire out because you ran over something, is a ply separation. So you got these ply separations. Well, what caused that? Was that a defect in the tire, or has this car been run through potholes and, run over a vise on the road or something? So,
overloaded, underinflated?
Yeah, so it's kind of a tough thing. A lot of it is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area to that.
When we come back, we've got Colton, we've got Paul, and we've got Don. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
After a car accident, make your first call the right call to Campus Auto Body Salon. Bumper to Bumper Radio approved, 5-star rated with Yelp, CarWise.com, and A+ rated by the BBB. The best care in collision repair since 1973. Check us out at campusbodysalon.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
You love golf? Hey, we love golf. Want to stay informed and have a little fun? Just tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 for the Bunker to Bunker Golf Show, the Valley's #1 golf show. I'm Greg Ellis. And I'm Jim Hill. And along with Marty Monahan, we talk to tour players and insiders from around the golf world. So round out the foursome, your weekly tee time, 7 a.m. Saturdays on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station, or catch up with us anytime at bunkergolf.com.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at accurateautomotiveaz.com today.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Dave Riccio. Matt Allen is out, and Carrie chose to crank up the music today, so feel good about that. Welcome to Bumper Radio. For those of you who just tuned in, and we've got Colton, Paul, and Don. We're going to take Don here in just a second, but we had a phone call earlier where somebody had a four-wheel drive, and they had a tire question. And John mentioned, hey, we should talk about transfer cases and tires, because we did a transfer case this week, a four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive Jeep, and they had 3 different brands of tires on this car. Well, when you actually measure those tires with a stagger gauge, which we have one in every bay at our shop, it seems like you find that, this one has a circumference difference of half an inch or 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch. You'll wreck a four-wheel drive or transfer case within a matter of, a couple thousand miles easily.
Oh, yeah.
Just depending on how far off they are. So you guys see that, and the other thing, too, is the tire rotation. So keeping those tires wearing evenly, absolutely rotate them every 5,000 miles with your oil change. You can't skip out on that. And when you got a four-wheel drive and you go in, they won't just sell you 2 tires. Don't yell at them.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're saving you money.
They're looking out for your best interests. Yeah. So we're going to go with Don in Cottonwood. He's got a 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. How can we help you, Don? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning. Thank you. Okay, so on my car, the tip-in on the throttle is extremely sensitive, meaning that I just barely get on the pedal, and it just, it'll snap my neck off if I give it too much throttle. And then other vehicles, you have to lay into the pedal a little bit before it really goes. You know what I mean? The tip-in, they call it.
Yep.
So is there any way to adjust that? I was thinking maybe a throttle position sensor, but I talked to somebody at Hyundai, said, no, it's in the computer. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, I've noticed on the brand new ones, they're not as sensitive, and I'm guessing maybe other people have had issues, but on those 2011s, got the 3.5 V6 in it. Is there a hope for lessening the sensitivity on the throttle like that?
No, unfortunately, that is software driven, and the manufacturers have not released any software revisions for that one to address that. So there's basically nothing you can do. Any software revision you would do would be illegal because it's not EPA approved. So yeah, there's nothing. Some of the Toyota Tundras are like that too. You tip into them with that 5.7 in the Tundra, and they feel like they're going to get away from you. It's just the way the throttle-by-wire is set up from the factory, and why they did that to make them so aggressive on that particular car, I don't know, but it is there. You're right.
Maybe
they do have an unusual feel.
You can glue a sponge to the gas pedal just to kind of soften it up.
It's kind of a weird deal. Throttle-by-wire is kind of a weird deal. The opposite thing happens. A lot of them have lag in them too, and people complain about that. It's just
these are all the little idiosyncrasies that the car manufacturers have to deal with when they program these cars to make them creature comfortable so you enjoy driving them, but at the same time there's always trade-offs. So there's a benefit to their programming the way it is. Wrong, it's wrong to you, but it might work good for the next guy. So we're going to go with Paul in Scottsdale. He's got a 1999 Jeep Wrangler. How can we help you, Paul? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Howdy, gentlemen. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I do have a 4-liter 99 Wrangler having some intermittent starting issues. Wants to crank. It's got a brand-new battery, cranks over, doesn't want to start, and you kick it a couple times, then it wants to start. It sputters a little bit. You give it some throttle, and it kicks in. It's very intermittent, seems to be after the vehicle has been driven. It has fuel. It has spark. Kind of at a loss at that point.
4-liter 99 random crank no start. One of the things that I see real commonly on the 4-liters with the crank no starts is a crank angle sensor issue. You got a crank angle sensor that's maybe starting to goof up. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But the warm thing, John, what do you think of that?
No, crank sensors act up warm. He says it's got fuel pressure. You got to take that with a grain of salt. Fuel pressure, it's got to have volume too. Volume can fall off when you've got fuel pump issues. The other thing I would be worried about would be cam sensor, because he says it's got fuel. He says it's got spark. If we lose cam sensor signal, we lose injector pulse. And injector pulse would be the guy. That's the third piece of the puzzle that I need to know. If I've got spark, I've got fuel pressure and volume, and then I have to open the injectors, and that's the one thing that people often overlook. So I'd be going after crank sensor, I'd be going after fuel volume, and I'd be going after possibly cam sensor.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Paul. If it's something that you're taking care of yourself, that's some good ideas. If you're looking for a shop because you don't have one, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. And that's one thing that comes up. A lot of people don't know where to go.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a good shop, if you've already got a good shop, stick with them. Because it's hard to find a good shop.
Yeah.
If you don't, bumpertobumperradio.com. There's a lot of great shops there. We're going to go with Colton in Santan Valley. He's got a 1974 AMC Javelin. I'm not sure how to say it because it wasn't around in my day. But how can we help you? Colton, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. Thank you guys for taking my call here. I have a 1974 AMC Javelin. It's an SST, a 5.0 304 engine.
Yep.
It runs everything. I got two questions. One of which is when I had a pinion seal leak on it. So I pulled the pinion seal out, got all that, placed the yoke back in and everything. When I did that, I marked it all, but my impact wrench went about one thread too deep again with the pinion nut. And so now I have this horrible whining sound when I'm decelerating. So I know I have to go back there and replace the crush sleeve.
Yep.
Should I replace the entire pinion or the bearings and all that stuff too? Well, it's an AMC 20 rear end.
No, you can do just the sleeve and the seal again. You'll destroy the seal taking it back out. I would do the seal and the sleeve. How how far did you drive it making noise? You know, if you drove it too far, yeah, it may have cooked the bearings. You may have to do the pin.
No, I've only been driven maybe about 2 blocks with that, making that sound. So it hasn't been far.
Yeah, probably okay. You can probably undo it and go back and recrush the new sleeve. That's going to be kind of putting a new sleeve in and crushing it's kind of tough with an impact. There's actually a fixture that holds the yoke while you tighten it down manually to get them to crush and get the preload right, but it can be done.
You know, differentials and, you know, pinion seals are one of those leaks we hate to address at the auto shop because someone pulls in and their pinion seal's leaking and they say, oh, I just pull the drive shaft, take a nut off, pull the yoke off, and bang in a new seal. And really, technically, the right way to do it is to pull the cover off of the back of the differential, pull the carrier out, you know, pull the pinion out, put on a new crush lever, put it all back together, put a new seal in it, and then have that fixture that's going to allow you to crush that crush lever.
Yeah, measure the rotating torque and stuff is the right way. Ford actually publishes a procedure where you mark the nut with a punch and the pinion, and I hate it because it doesn't always work correctly. And when you're wrong, if they get driven too far, they just smoke the diff.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it. We can technically do it wrong for, you know, somewhere between $200 and $300, you know, and that's the way most shops do it. You mark the threads, you know, and you do it that way.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. We always got a little bit of wince, and especially when the car's got 130,000 miles on it, because that bearing up there, you know, we hate to mess with it. Maybe that's why the seal's leaking, because the bearing's going bad.
Right.
So, you know, differential repairs are one of those things, and not everybody can work on differentials, that's for sure. And thanks, guys, for coming in. It's really good to have you in.
Yeah,
and
we had a blast.
Thank you for having us.
It's a lot of fun. The thing I love about their business is that it is just very, very, very family run. But, you know, people sometimes think, oh, family run, that's going to be like this throwback type of shop. It's anything but that. You guys are very automated. You know, I knew when I took my wife's car in there I was in good hands. And couldn't be happier with those tires. So if you're looking for an honest, competent shop like the guys at S&S Tire, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. We're glad those of you listening could join us, and we'll be back next week. If you're ever looking for an old show, something we talked about, you're like, what were those guys talking about? You can go to bumpertobumperradio.com. All the shows are up there. This show will be up there probably within the week, and that's certainly a thing. And there's a lot of information on there as well, you know, tire talk and that kind of thing. So anyway, glad you can join us. Remember never to text and drive. And from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a safe weekend. We'll see you next week.